you could use to justify your proposed recommendations to segregate forklift trucks from the workers. Okay, and we will support our answer by information from the scenario. So here we have given a reference to the scenario. What reference did we give? We refer to the recent accident in the industry. Injured worker was hospitalized. So you don't need to copy and paste everything from the scenario. You've given a reference. You've taken out information from the scenario. Okay, so this is how you need to refer to the scenario. I've mentioned that in the recent accident, the injured worker was hospitalized. It is clearly mentioned in the scenario that the injured worker was hospitalized, which obviously is going to cost the company a lot of money, and it would have been avoided if the accident did not take place, and by having the control measures in place. So this is one financial argument that we have given. Another financial argument is sick pay. The injured worker had to stay home for 6 weeks, and legally the company has to provide sick pay to the worker, which is avoidable cost. Okay, again, sick pay will be payable to the worker, and that is a legal requirement. So that also is a financial argument, and it is a cost that we could have avoided by avoiding the accident. Replacement labor, obviously the injured worker is going to take 6 weeks off. Okay, the injured worker is going to take 6 weeks off because the medical leave is 6 weeks, and we need to hire a replacement for him to avoid production losses, which will cost us. So the injured worker is away from work for 6 weeks. Obviously we cannot run the store without a guy being away for 6 weeks. So we need to hire someone to replace him. That replacement is going to cost money. So you are paying him the sickness leave, sick pay. Also, he's not working, and you are paying money on hiring a replacement. So that is also another financial argument. Then there are possible legal fines. Okay, here's another cost. The injured worker is looking for legal advice, which may lead to fines in if the case goes to the court. We are also visited by the legal inspector, whom we have to agreed to implement the proposed controls, failure to which may lead to legal fines as well. Okay, so we have been visited by the legal inspector, and we have agreed that we will implement the proposed control measures. If we don't implement the proposed control measures, we will be subject to legal fines. Then there is compensation. If the court rules against us in the court, we might have to pay compensation to the injured worker. That's another cost. Work disruption. Due to the incident, there was some work stoppage which has caused delays. Again, delays cost money. Cost of investigation, that's another cost. The incident needs to be investigated, which will incur cost, as we have to pay the investigation team. Training the replacement labor, so we will have to hire a replacement, and we have to train the replacement. So hiring, it will cost us money, but training that replacement that we hired, that will also cost money. So that's another standalone financial argument. Legal and court fees. The legal and court fees are also. So the legal and court fees are also another financial argument that you can use. And finally, loss of future business due to poor company reputation after the incident that we have had. So all the above financial costs could have been avoided if the proposed controls were in place. Okay, so this is clear, guys. This is how you need to answer it. Now let's count how many points are there. 1. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 points. Okay, so remember how many marks we had for this question? Here it is 10 marks. Okay, so obviously 10 marks means there should be 10 points in your answer sheet, which we have just verified. Okay. Okay, next question, question number 2. Let me take you to question number 2. Okay, checking the management system effectiveness. You email a report to the overall store and warehouse manager in further attempt to convince them that safety needs to be improved. The report contains unsafe behavior that you have observed, unsafe behavior associated with historic incidents, and unsafe behavior related to you from other workers. Also, the report contains voluntary feedback on safety given to the workers by the manager, given to you by workers and managers based on the scenario only. Now, here you cannot answer anything beyond the scenario. When they mention based on scenario only, all of your answer must be coming from the scenario only. What unsafe behavior would be included in the report and what voluntary feedback would be included in the report. What is the unsafe behavior? This part contains 6 marks and the second part, the voluntary feedback, it contains 4 marks. So again, you need to be careful and you need to make sure that you give the appropriate amount of information in the answer. Now here, task number 2, what were the unsafe behaviors? First unsafe behavior is unsafe stacking. It was clearly mentioned in the scenario that it has been observed that goods are often being stacked in aisles and walkways, which can lead to slips, trips, and falls. Okay, so this is the first point. Number 2, blocking designated walkways. It has been observed that the designated walkways are often blocked due to goods stored in them, which pose obstruction during evacuation. So designated walkways are meant to be kept clean and open. So if you block them, then there are problems during evacuation. Stepping onto the vehicle routes. This was also mentioned in the scenario. Due to the poor stacking, workers have to move around and often step into the vehicle routes, putting them in the line of fire, which means they can be run over by the forklift truck. Not reporting or investigating incidents. As per the workers, there have been many incidents and there are no records of it. Okay, so that is another unsafe behavior, that the workers are not reporting incidents. Drivers talking on the phone. Again, it was clearly mentioned that the incident which took place revealed that the forklift driver was talking on the phone, which is an unsafe act or an unsafe behavior. Oil spillages. Now remember, oil spillage is usually considered an unsafe condition. Okay, but if there is an oil spillage, it means that somebody has either spilled the oil on the floor, which is unsafe behavior, or people have not cleaned the spillage. That is also an unsafe behavior. Okay, so this is how we can change an unsafe condition into an unsafe act. Okay, or unsafe behavior. The recent incident has also highlighted that there is an oil spillage, which means the spillages are not cleaned on time and may be a regular occurrence, which is unsafe behavior. Not cleaning or not rectifying a bad situation is considered unsafe behavior. Okay, although oil spillage is a condition, unsafe condition, but you can write it in such a way that it becomes an unsafe behavior, unsafe act. Okay, so there were 6 marks to this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 answers. Okay. Similarly, second part of the question, it carried how many marks? It carried 4 marks. Okay. So these 4 marks over here, we need to give at least 4 points. Okay. So 4 points will obviously get us the full marks. Okay, so now let's go to the second part. Second part is lack of visibility from the management. Now let's read the second part. What voluntary feedback would be included in the report? Okay, so this is the voluntary feedback that would be included in the report. The workers, they gave us voluntary feedback. What feedback did they give? Workers have voluntarily given feedback that they rarely see the management in the warehouse. So the management is usually not present in the warehouse. not reporting investigation or investigating accidents. As per the workers, there have been many incidents, but there are no records for reporting or investigating the incidents. Poor working conditions. Workers have voluntarily given feedback that they have been complained to the management on the working conditions on many occasions, but no action were taken. Another voluntary feedback is no consultation. The workers are highlighted, also highlighted with their complaints are not recorded, and there is no worker safety representative appointed. Okay, so again, all of this information is available in the given scenario. Okay, so you can all get it back from this scenario. Now, when you are giving the answers, you need to refer again and again back to this scenario, guys. So please refer again and again back to this scenario so you can answer the question properly. Question number 3 is management of contractors. Site management have accepted your proposal for health and safety improvements to segregate FLTs and workers. They have made the budget available and the organization intends to use external contractors to the work. So you're not going to do this work yourself, you're going to use external contractors. Okay. When selecting the external contractors, what would you consider when assessing their competence? Very, very easy question. Now, till now, guys, I'll tell you task number 1, this question was from element 1 of IG1. Okay. Okay, unsafe behaviors and condition, this was for element number 2. Managing contractors, this is again from element number 1. Okay, so let's check the answers for this question. Okay, the standard answers. So this is very, very simple. It's in element number 1, last topic, selection of contractors. And while selecting a contractor, you will look at the previous experience, their track record, their policy and procedures, their accident history, the risk assessments, their competence, whether they have a certified management system or not, whether they have the available resources to do the job or not, have they received any legal notices or fines from the authorities previously, and you can also consider the previous clients or feedback. Again, there were 10 points, 10 marks given to this question, and there are 10 points in the answer. Okay, each point is of at least 2 to 3 lines, 2 to 3 lines. Okay, so this is how you need to carry onwards. Next question. Next question is question number 4, working within a health and safety management system. Very, very easy question. To satisfy the expectations of the inspector, you have developed a formal safety management system in line with ISO 45001. Based on the scenario only, what are the likely benefits to the organization of having this safety management system?